just kidding. No, I didn't, but that's okay. I'm just giving you some grief.
Welcome to Flashpoint 3. Here we are. It's a sunny day with smokestacks on fire somewhere in the world that I don't know and can't confirm. But you know why we're looking at this? It's because it's International Astronomy Day. And you might be thinking, where are the stars? Well, Astralis isn't playing, and that's the sun, which is technically a star, as we all know. It's just a very close star. Is it your favorite star, Semler, now that you're on the desk for the first time?
No, I hate it.
You hate the sun?
Yeah.
How about these stars instead?
Those I'll take any day of the week. A little bit of the Milky Way there. Nice, beautiful mountain landscape. Sign me up for that any day of the week, Monty.
Do you have nice stars in Sweden where you live?
We do.
Oh, good.
Because there's not as much light pollution. You come out here to Los Angeles, people don't even know what the night sky looks like anymore.
You're
gotta
from
drive out
Los
to Joshua
Angeles.
Tree.
Forget about it.
Yeah, I know.
Did
That's
you
why
know-
I appreciate it so much when I actually get to see the night sky and I see stars. It's like, whoa, you know? Everybody else over there like, what do you mean? Like, it's just the sky. And I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah, but you could just
Explains
drive
a
out to
lot.
Joshua Tree and see the stars, and it's beautiful.
yeah, you guys drive 2 hours. Good for you.
But it's pretty close for stars. All right, well, enough of that.
Welcome, Lex.
Oh, Lex is here, too.
I thought I was your favorite star somewhere, but
Oh, my God. All right. Well, we are here to actually talk about Flashpoint and Counter-Strike today, and also, because it's International Astronomy Day, some of that as well. But to start things off, please, if you would like to stay updated about this tournament, go to Flashpoint on Twitter. You can use the hashtag Flashpoint CSGO, and we'll look at your stuff. By the way,
Using the wrong hashtag.
hashtag Flashpoint.
hashtag Flashpoint.
Yeah, I've just been using hashtag Flashpoint.
We can do either. We'll look at both.
Do both.
We have the power. We
do
have
both.
the power. So, I will tell you that if you guys send us good memes, we will probably feature them in the blind spot. We have released all of the player art for you to make fun comics out of, or memes. We've provided meme templates, so we enjoy it when you do that. We will continue to give you all of our broadcast assets for your own personal abuse, I would say.
And our amusement.
And our abuse and our amusement.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, let's take a look at the bracket, because today is the start of our losers bracket. And we're going to see the losers bracket first here. Look at all these fabulous losers,
Wow.
including such surprising losers as OG, Vitality, Complexity, FaZe, NIP, perhaps the most surprising loser of all. Which is your most unanticipated loser, Semler?
I would have to be NIP.
Okay.
I casted that game yesterday, and to be fair, I thought that they were just going to go right through Anonymous the way that they did in the first map, 16-3, just absolutely brutalize them. And I was like, well, fair enough. You're making jokes about it. You know, it's just one of those games. And then Anonymous played out of their minds and took the next two maps. So congrats to Anonymous, and definitely did not expect to see Nip in the lower bracket.
Did it warm your heart to see Snacks opping again?
No, I don't care about Snacks at all.
Wow.
It actually hurt me a lot that Nip lost, because I'm there like, I'm a big fan of Device. I'm a big fan of the Nip roster. I've spoken a lot about it going into this tournament, how I really expect Nip to do well this year. I think they have all the tools necessary and they're going in the right direction. And yet, it just wasn't enough yesterday. They didn't have that professional spirit, that mindset, that competitive mindset to get them through the tough times. And unfortunately, you know, they let themselves down as well as us.
Well, fair enough. Lex, did you have a most surprising loser? You can't pick Nip. It's already been
No doubt. It's OG. I'm absolutely shocked to see them here in the first place, but you know what? They've got Vitality to handle this morning. And I think for a lot of the talent here, this was like, OG was potentially going to be, you know, almost tournament favorites for some people. So, I mean, if they get knocked
Yeah,
out
he's
here by
sitting over there right
Vitality,
now.
I'd be shocked.
There's
first
two of them.
all, and out of points. Yeah, two of the guys over there.
Two of them, both Launders and Maui, will be bringing us the first game with OG. Did pick OG beforehand to win the entire tournament. No, you say that, but OG has made numerous losers bracket runs in the past, including at Flashpoint 2, where they did it twice to make it to the finals.
Yeah, well, Kyojin's got their number now, so
He does not.
we'll see.
Anyway, we'll discuss that in just a little bit. First off, because it is International Astronomy Day, we're going to do astrology, which doesn't make sense. I know that, but it's fine.
I hate it.
Let
You
me
hate
see.
you hate it.
Let me see.
Lex has a personal vendetta against astrology.
All-
It
all-
I'm a
offends
starman
him.
myself.
It offends him deeply.
No, you just offended all the moms who are watching the stream right now, Monty.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
Well-
You don't get text from your mom every now and again? She's like, oh, you know, just be careful. No? No, you don't get
No.
that? Okay.
I read your sign this morning.
My poor wife. I guess I offended her as well.
How dare you,
How
Monty?
dare I?
Oh,
All right.
God.
Here are our horoscopes.
I am, in fact, cancerous, yes.
I am, in fact, a terrible Libra, as it turns out. Who, you know, supposed to be charming and well-balanced. I am neither of these things, in fact.
That's a lie.
Oh, that's a lie.
That's
You do yourself a disservice.
Maybe charming, but not
There we go.
well balanced.
Yeah, okay,
Certainly,
fine, fair
I do
enough.
not live a balanced lifestyle. Let's put it
Give him a
that
nice
way.
shove. Let's test that
I'm
out.
all or nothing on the old work. How about Lex? Gemini? Are there two of you?
There may be. Which one did you get today? I don't know.
Are you actually
We're all going to
twins?
find out.
Bum, bum, bum.
I like it.
Doppelgangers working in my place most of the week, and you guys had no idea.
I wonder if twins do that.
What, like, take each other's places? I'm pretty sure there's
no,
like movies
just
and
like
shit about
pretend
that.
there's one and then have the same job, so they only work half time.
That's
play.
genius.
What an amazing play, Monty. Yes.
That's actually what I do. That's my secret.
We need to just write the show. Yes, write
That's my
a show
secret.
based on this.
Any twins out there watching the show that are living this lifestyle, please tweet at us.
I feel like there's a bunch of places that we can go with this joke that are just not going to be okay for
Oh,
the stream,
God.
so we should maybe change the subject.
All right,
that for
we
after
will change the subject. In fact, we're going to change it right over to a break, and when we get back, we'll start talking about our first match between OG and Vitality.
For me at Flashpoint 3 has to be Zywoo. Top player of the year 2 years straight, and the fact of the matter is that he can elevate Vitality to a level that they need to be at if they want to take down this tournament.
Like any other game leader, when you have Zywoo within the team, you need to put him in the best condition ever. Trying to help him on both sides, on CT and T side, because when he's too static, Zywoo is not a great AWPer, so we just want him to move a lot, to do a lot of things for the team.
He is so consistent time and time again, and Apex, he's labeled him as a soldier of sorts.
He's not like the others AWPer. He likes to fight a lot. He likes to get the rifle, and he doesn't like to be behind. He likes to be within the fight, so you need to put him within the fight, but not too much as an entry, like more as a refragger. I think it's working pretty well for 2 years, the way we use him.
Ça joue leur jeu. C'est vraiment, à vrai dire, tout, quoi. On va dire, s'ils sont pas là, je pense pas que je ferais les choses. Ok, bah je pourrais les faire, mais ça serait moins impactant, on va dire, parce qu'il y a toujours le revenge ou des choses comme ça, mais ils sont là toujours prêts à me mettre la bonne flash, la smoke au bon moment, ou il y aura quelqu'un derrière moi prêt à me revenge ou des choses comme ça. Du coup, je suis toujours confiant en fait quand je sais qu'ils seront là derrière moi pour me soutenir à n'importe quel moment, et je pense que c'est pour ça que je suis assez confiant dans n'importe quel moment.
Right now, it's not an easy moment for the team, so obviously we need everyone to get much better.
Looking at Vitality's recent form, I'm not too concerned about Zywoo's drop because everybody dropped, and everybody on the team isn't playing to their tip-top form. There's going to be less gun rounds, there's going to be less opportunities for him to get involved.
When you have Zywoo, who's seen as one of the greatest players to ever touch the game, and he starts having the career worst performances during this period, you know that something needs to change.
When the team is not performing well, obviously you need to reinvent yourself, and that's what we try to do the last few months. Now, since Kyojin joined, the practice is going well. I don't say we're winning all the practice, but the way we're walking is really good, and you always see when you're walking well, when everyone is in the same mood and you're going in the same direction. Without a doubt, the last month is that the best level I ever seen him in training, in whatever. He's like dropping 40 bombs like no one. So yeah, it's really good to see that guy performing that well.
He has still shown that he can find multi-frags in situations that no one has any business doing so. But I think he needs to go above and beyond. He needs to sometimes break open the game plan just a little bit so that Vitality can get that extra edge if they actually want to take Flashpoint 3 down.
If all the pieces are together, we can get to the next level.
Comme tout le monde fait, on va dire, être convaincu de nos idées et continuer à faire tout le temps ce qu'on aime faire, le plaisir de faire les choses qu'on aime. Et je pense que si on continue à faire ça, je pense qu'on peut tout éclater.
Well, guys, after yesterday, I think we might be modifying that video so that Device just pulls out his phone and tweets, and that's what blows up the doors of the Flashpoint castle. You know, we gotta keep the storylines going in the videos, as it were, right, guys? Right?
Listen, all I'm gonna say, Monty, is that Cristiano Ronaldo would have won.
He would have won. He can overcome ping. He's inhuman.
We'll leave it there.
All right. Well, here we go, guys. It is International Astronomy Day, so look at those stars spinning up in the heavens.
Beautiful.
It's only dark in Asia right now, I think, so you'll get there, Europe. You'll get there later in the day.
Unless you're in Scandinavia, in which case, get over.
You'll never get there.
Not happening.
You can enjoy the closest star to you at midnight. The sun.
Yeah, exactly. And we're back.
All right, and we're back. We've got to start today. It is a very important matchup. It is between Vitality and OG. Obviously, either of these teams leaving in the first round of the losers bracket is a loss to the competition of this tournament, of course, but also is a pretty severe blow to their RMR points and therefore their opportunity to qualify for the major or get a high seed as we proceed to that event in Stockholm that will be coming up in November. So kind of a bit of a tragic road how we got here. OG had to face Astralis in the first round, probably the most anticipated first round matchup that we had. One of those teams was unfortunately going to the losers bracket. But let's start with Vitality, who suffered a very interesting loss to Double Pony, another French team. And why is it, Semler, I know you have unique insight, why is it that these French teams tend to rise and fall so quickly? And what is it about Vitality that could cause them to fall to such an underdog?
I think as far as Vitality are concerned, it's still the internal struggles, but it's almost built into the cake where as soon as you start to succeed, you actually have to fail. That's a bit of the French mentality, because every time they go up, they have to just tear each other down. And so it's usually struggles in the team itself that leads to the team falling apart and a dip in performance. And I feel like we're in that phase right now with Vitality where eventually they're going to make the changes necessary. Now it's a question of whether or not you keep Apex and Shox on the same team, or if you change that up entirely and blow it up and start new, like let's say NiP have done with the Swedish scene. But right now, as far as it stands, Vitality, there's a lot left to be desired. ZywOo can't carry it all on his own.
Agreed. And I think, a lot of this comes down to confidence and performance from the new players on the team. And I'm going to include Masuda in that. Both of these players
deserved.
Yeah, I mean, Kyojin and Masuda are both going to be scrutinized. They're the newest players in the roster. They have the least experience. It's easier, I think, for us to sit up here and kind of analyze them specifically as reasons why they maybe aren't performing what they expect of themselves as a unit. But Apex himself, I mean, in that that pregame role, you see him talking about potentially being a top 5 team again. And you know what? That's confidence, I guess, but you got to share that across all 5 players, and I don't think we see that right now.
Yeah, and for those of you who missed that match, what specifically was it about Kyojin and Masuda? Because a lot of it was their play on CT sides, just rolling over on some of these sites for free.
No, they were the first. They were definitely targeted by Double Pony, and I think the scoreline shows.
And Double Pony have also got their inside man, NBK. I mean, ex-Vitality, played with Apex and Shoxy forever. He's going to know exactly. And not only NBK, that's the real beauty. And my kind of joke when it comes to Double Pony is that they have body. Body's played with all these guys before, and now he's the in-game leader for Double Pony, and he's sitting over there going like, so right. Those guys self-destructed that way. So we're going to do the opposite of that on this team, and it'll and they win.
Now it's working.
And they win. Oh, it's crazy how that works. Body got that experience. He was like, yeah, we're not doing any of that. And so Apex and Shoxy right now, I think they've got to be digging deep and trying to find a way back into this. I'm also very curious if Vitality are a team that are being impacted pretty heavily by Xtaz not being able to be as involved in the coach role in these matches specifically, because with the RMR rule set, the coaches are pretty limited. Yep. I know for a fact at the beginning of the online era with Rona that Vitality intentionally kept him aside to try and replicate LAN, but I don't know if they fell on to using him more and more as time went on, and if they're feeling the hurt now because of that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd assume they did just because it would have been such a competitive disadvantage, not because every tournament, and this wasn't illegal or anything, guys. Every tournament was allowing this because, frankly, the rules were just...
did other illegal things.
They did other things, but the rules were basically unenforceable, so everybody just kind of had to let that one stop.
And I think the big trouble with that is, I mean, Vitality have so much work ahead of them in terms of just getting a competent map pulled together. You got to lean on somebody, and at times maybe you throw that into question with Apex and his ability to bring this team to victory, but you know, if you don't have your coaches as involved as you would like, it can even be a taller task.
Well, who do you go to? I think there's a real crisis of leadership on the team. They have all the fragging power. Everybody going into this match, actually, it's worth pointing out that Zai was the only positive guy in terms of rating. He's at 1.24 or something crazy like that. So despite all the struggles, Zai was still putting up god-tier numbers, but the rest of his team are all sub 1.0, and that's absolutely crazy to think that players of the caliber of Apex, Shoxy, even Kyojin, although he is fresh, I mean, he's going to be trying to get his feet under him. But I mean, come on, Shoxy and Apex, those kind of legendary names need to be putting up bigger numbers than that.
That's fair, and they do have a tough opponent to do it against today. OG is going to be coming in as their matchup in the losers bracket.
So nuts.
Bit of a surprise to see them here, but with Astralis returning to a bit of form, it was OG that was the big loser. Now, We've waxed poetic about Flames being on this roster and being such a great addition. We've heard about Montu and his opping skill. And Valde Semler, I know you want to talk about him because he was potentially the MVP of Flashpoint 2. Very strong tournament overall, but boy was he disappointing against Astralis.
He's Mr. Consistent for the team. It's worth pointing out that he is reliably at the top of the scoreboard, reliably doing the work as the lurker. And when he isn't there, that's when the team struggles. And unfortunately for OG, when they went up against Astralis in the first round in the upper bracket, Valde was nowhere to be found. And that, I think, you could really feel that lack of fragging power on the team. They needed him to kind of step up in some moments. He had a couple of big rounds, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't consistent. It wasn't something reliable that Alexi could build on throughout the series. And so I think OG kind of struggled without their star player there to help them through.
I think you're absolutely right. And for Valde, you know, maybe you have a bad day, maybe you have an off day where things aren't hitting. You know, that can be forgiven, especially when you're up against Astralis, who, I mean, their form is a little bit in question, but it's still that dominant roster that you expect when you boil down that match. So, you know, for Alexi B, I think he's got an easier time ahead of him here in Vitality. Certainly, we've already kind of painted the picture of what struggles Vitality are up against. So, you know, for this, I just expect OG is going to come out swinging.
I still think when I think about OG, like that's why all of us are really talking up OG going into this tournament. I think a lot of us were just harping on and on about them in pre-match interviews, etc. It's just that they have everything that they need. All the tools are there. The roles are clear. They have clear leadership. They have their coach Rugga back in the mix now as well. Obviously, you can't be as involved. You know, again, it's worth mentioning that. But everybody, it should be a very clear picture. There shouldn't be any friction in this team in terms of like, oh, you should be doing this and I should be doing this. That shouldn't be the case with OG. They have their sniper, they have their IGL, they have their lurker, it's all very clean and neat. And to me, that speaks to a winning team because you're not going to be, wasting time, messing around with roles and that costing you rounds.
Well, it's also true that at least in Flashpoint 2, even though it was a different version of OG, they've swapped out two players. They did lose both of their opening matches, once in groups, which is a double elimination group, and once at the start of the quarterfinals, which was another double elimination. They won their group in the end, and they made it all the way to the final and nearly won Flashpoint 2. So this team does very well. Alexi B calls very well when their backs are up against the wall. It seems like they almost need that extra motivation. Certainly could make it a little bit easier on themselves, but we'll see if they can take it to Vitality right now. We are going to go into our veto to start this process. Where are you thinking this starts, Lex?
I mean, banning Train, not really a huge surprise. I mean, you could even honestly expect that from either of these teams. You know what? For me, the trouble with this veto is Vitality are almost cornered into playing maps that they've already been playing a lot recently with their new addition of Kyojin. Nuke and Inferno, I expect both of those to remain in here and potentially go to one of those maps. It's a kind of a mystery to me about whether or not, maybe Vitality came into this tournament with a game plan. Okay, so there it is. Dust 2, that's a little bit different from them and a little bit of a surprising one. But I think, as far as OG goes, this is definitely a map where Vitality, who I think they lost on Dust 2 to Extra Salt, a few weeks back. NA team, by the way, shout out to them.
Hey.
But South African team?
Okay, so
what are you talking about?
Inferno comes into the mix. That's a little expected for me. I just think, for OG, that's somewhere that they have a very recent read on the T side of Vitality where they struggled to even find any openings, last week against Double Pony. So, both of these maps I think are still going to favor OG considering where Vitality's at right now, but Dust 2 could definitely throw a wrench into things.
Listen, we've all seen Kyojin highlights. maybe Dust 2. You know, it's just like they're just reaching. They're like, you know what? We saw how Alexi B sets up Flames and lets Flames go in first and lets Flames use his nutty aim to just open up bomb sites and just go ham on people. Maybe Apex could do the same thing with Kyojin, because we've all seen Kyojin has sick aim. So if you can set him up for success, give him the flashes and let him go in and just start smashing people in the face, that could be the winning strategy here for Vitality.
I think you're right. And man, dude, like, this is a Mirage Decider as well. This map pool is so different from what they came out with last week, where, okay, we're going to play Nuke and Inferno. That's fine, but those are, I mean, Inferno maybe you could make the excuse of, but Nuke is a difficult map to try and play with new additions in the first place. You got a lot of strategy that you got to kind of like, it's like drinking from a fire hose at that point. So for Dust 2, you can kind of let him do his own thing, maybe feel a little bit more comfortable if that's what you're thinking here. But I'm glad they're changing it up at least.
Listen, let Masuda play the supportive roles. Let Masuda try and set it up. Apex should also be trying to set it up. Let Kyojin go to work. Zywoo, you can count on Zywoo. That guy always shows up. So that's the beauty of that situation, at least for Apex. He's got an Opera, a dominant Opera who can get him first kills. Now just get Kyojin in there to help out, and things could work out positively here for Vitality.
Well, the teams are ready to go. We are going to see them on the map shortly. First up, though, we do have our odds provided by our partner over at Unicorn. Remember, of course, that you can head over to unicorn.com, and if you put 20 euros in, you'll end up with 100 based off of the 4x bonus. So use the code Flashpoint over there. Have a little fun throughout the rest of the RMR. Now, based on those odds, we do our predictions. Each of us has 1,000 unicorn points every day. We allocate them between the two matches with a minimum of 250, and our predictions are then, or our points are then multiplied by those odds, and we have a leaderboard at the end of the day. There are no winners. There's only a loser who will be doing a punishment. We haven't set the deadline date for the first punishment yet. Should be actually probably in a couple days.
Wait, there's more than one.
Why are you looking at Maui when you say that?
Maui is not in last place, Semler. You are the current last place person.
I am not.
You are.
Oh, my
Anyway.
God.
We made him dress up like a clown last season. It was great. So we do have predictions, of course, from our casters first. Who is, between you, who's more likely to do the punishment, and what is your prediction for today, Lars?
I think I'm probably more likely. Like today, I tried to slam OG and didn't know the rules, so I put 1,000 on OG, and your wife told me I couldn't do that. So.
She tells me I can't do things all the time too, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna run into a wall here. You won the live, didn't you get the?
I won the Flashpoint 2.
Flashpoint 2, yeah.
Priority.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm actually in second to last place right now.
Oh, okay.
Right
Good.
ahead of Semler.
Maybe I'll just keep with my strategy.
Yeah,
just going crazy.
Just keep doing what you do. Just
go for my 4Xs.
So
Yeah,
you're
just keep
on
betting on the
Vitality,
underdogs.
right?
What's that?
You're on Vitality then?
I am definitely not. No, yeah.
So you're just lying now. Gonna keep with your strategy. But
The odds weren't good enough. If this was 4-1, you'd catch me on Vitality. But I took OG. It was good enough. I don't feel good about the matches today because Complexity lost so handedly last time, but Fnatic definitely don't look great at all. So I'm like, man, that's a race to the bottom. And for this game, I feel good about OG, but I'm like, Vitality also couldn't play worse than they did last time as well. So it's a weird. We're in a weird place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with OG also.
Okay.
I've got them to win the tournament, which doesn't look so great right now.
No, yeah. I said it really loudly in some content that we made before the tournament started.
Yeah.
OG will win this event, and
it's
then
okay.
they
Like I
lose their
told you.
first match.
Like I told you, they got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs of Flashpoint 2, made it all the way back to the final.
That's
so,
true.
This is their happy place.
Yeah.
Playing more matches with the threat of being eliminated at any time. For some reason, that's what activates them. I expect to continue. I'm picking OG as well. I think I put 350 on this one, though. I put more in the second game.
I think I had 500 on OG, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, come on. Vitality, no.
I wish I had some breaking new ground here. Maybe play devil's advocate, but I'm also going with OG. This is the easiest bet of my life.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had to think for a second, but,
Now
still
it's
going with
cursed?
OG.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
I
There it is.
thought Heroic
See-
versus Sprout was easier, but that's a bold statement.
Think
All
I'll
right,
see
guys,
my
we
life.
got to get into our game now. Players are ready, so enough from us. Maui, Launders, enjoy your inaugural cast together. I'll be giving you notes afterwards.
We're actually both wearing slides right now. That's the secret that nobody knows. Maui went the extra distance, is wearing basketball shorts. That's something.
I'm just wearing boxers, actually.
Yeah, just boxers. Yeah, just Armani boxers.
Yeah.
I have some bad words to say about Kyojin. You want to start there?
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's never had a positive rating on Vitality.
No.
He's never. He had positive ratings. He never had a positive KD.
Right.
His closest was 16 kills, 16 deaths versus Extra Salt when they completely stumped them. So that's the best it's been. They played Dust 2 once, didn't go well, and he was 12-16. And he's basically just the first time I watched his first game on Nuke, they looked nervous and it didn't look great, but I was sympathetic to the fact that it's a new player on a big team.
Of course.
So he could get better, but it feels like not much has changed.
No.
Even watching this time around on Nuke at Flashpoint, he looked just as uncomfortable. Masuda was taking I feel like Masuda wasn't doing him any favors by not helping him with the bomb site, taking control of things.
Right.
So it doesn't look it's gotten better to me.
Yeah.
And it's already been like 10 maps.
Yeah, I think the thing is that they put Masuta with Kyojin a lot, which is kind of curious. But they did play ESEA main together. So if there's anything to take from
chemistry.
that's yeah.
Listen, if they survived main,
they played ESEA main together. They didn't make it out of main, by the way.
Right.
And also Navarro was on that team also. So it's basically the Vitality farm for talent is just who Masuda is telling them, hey, this guy was nuts on my main team actually. So that's a little bit of insight into the Vitality camp.
they need to press tab because Masuda's not been doing that well himself.
No, I don't think he's helping Kyojin out also because they play like Nuke A together, which we won't see today, unfortunately. But they just seem confused in situations. They don't know what kind of space to take, what kind of ways to counter what the opponent's doing. So.
I thought you were watching Hut.
Yeah.
I thought you were watching Hut. It's like, whoa, yeah. It feels like the blind leading the blind sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I feel like, I feel like Masuda should have that older brother syndrome almost, where he's been on this team, even though he's only been on the team for like
it's a year. It's a year.
Has it been a year? Yeah. So that's a good amount of time. He should have some confidence at this level that he should be able to like be like, Kyojin, let me show you the ropes, dog. Like I've been here for a bit. I know exactly what to do. Like here's what you should do. But it doesn't feel like he's talking to him that much. But
we are in the game.
It's Dust 2. You don't have to talk that much. I mean, there's one thing you know how to do on Dust 2. It's frag. It should be easy to do. We got an opening kill here for Masuda. Looks like the bomb plan's coming quickly. The retake is already going to be kind of difficult, but they forget about Flames and Pit, and it's Apex to win that duel. It looks like Vitality are already shooting pretty hot. Apex maintaining pick control, and the trades come through. Valda is all alone in the 1v3, and there's not even odds for him to go for it. Oh, wait, unless.
Yeah, a chance here. Valde making his way up now. He's going to be challenging Apex next. The swing comes out. Apex falls, and Valde takes down Masuda. What a hot start for him. He's had a cold tournament thus far, but that is a great way to get OG into this series.
Maui, we were in the blind spot watching the game with Valda, and you kept talking about how good Valda was, and then he had like his first negative rating since Flames came on the team. It was like his only bad series.
Yeah, and this time I'm not on the desk, so I can't hype him up.
Right.
But I'm going to do it right now. Valde, he's a beast. He's changed up his roles a little bit over time. He's kind of playing those anchor spots before for OG. Now he gets to be a rotator, and he gets to use a lot of that game sense and his nice aim to look really hot.
Now, Maui, a lot of people were watching this and be like, why'd you peek him? Why'd you peek him? Did they make a mistake?
No, that was pretty much a double peek. That was about as good as it gets for Vitality.
I agree.
So,
they just got owned.
Yeah. Sometimes he just hits his shots.
Shocks would have won that 1v1.
Probably.
Yeah. That is his position. That was pretty insane. I mean, he was like 2 or 3 bullets for every headshot, so it almost couldn't have been more precise than that. So really fantastic opening round for OG. But these days, a bomb plant can almost be worth as much as the round. As we can see, there's an intimidating amount of guns here for Vitality to use. And these Galils, I have seen people use Galils over, Tizian uses Galils over AKs.
That's just blasphemous, actually.
So that explains a lot.
Yeah. He just needs those extra 5 bullets.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
No shame in that. I think I'm in a very similar place. But it's I've heard people say a Galil is just an M4 with 5 extra bullets. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's not too much worse. It's half the price, pretty much.
And it's so cheap. $1,800. It's always on sale.
Yeah. The fact that you can buy a full set of utility on top of it every single time, pretty much, it's pretty incredible.
This is funny because it feels like they know the execute's coming. Flames just dropped the smoke in their face, and they're about to pop it through the door. They don't have a Molotov to clear him out, so he's going to be having a good time, I guess, watching this angle. But still, only the MP9 and now Montu sitting up at Goose, one of the best guns on the server at the moment. But he gets spotted, he gets dinged, and he can't win a duel. And oh my God, Kyojin spins around for that 2K, knocks down the cat flank, leaving 2 CTs alive. But OG have been here before, Maui.
Yeah, nade comes out from Nico. That lands right on Apex. Doesn't get the kill, though, and they might have to back up because of that. Oh, if they knew the HP on the members of Vitality, they may actually attempt this, but of course they do not. So
yeah, looks like a Winamp equalizer.
Yeah, Vitality will get their first round on the board now, and really just felt like OG kind of knew what was coming, but they couldn't isolate the angles fast enough. Montu never really took the duel towards Cat. He kind of was between a rock and a hard place there at Goose.
And Kyojin, he really could have just died to Alexi on that flank, and the whole thing could have fallen apart. Could have been the loose string on the ball of yarn, but Kyojin flicks around and gets that kill, and who knows? I mean, he's just overdue for a Kyojin-like performance, the performance that they hired him for, excuse me. And that is unfortunately something that's going to be a point of conversation with him. They didn't hire him to become a support player. They hired him to be a long-term upgrade to RPK in terms of firepower. They hired him to be this explosive rifler. They're looking for the the Zaiwu of rifles or something to pick up onto the team. That's why they went for Masuda in the first place.
Yeah. What's really nice about Kyojin is that he plays a lot of the same roles as RPK on the CT side. He is very much so an anchor guy. That's what he was playing on his last roster. So we'll see if he's able to ever match the tank in terms of bomb site defenses, because so far it's been pretty tough. But this is a great way to gain some confidence. 3-1 start, pretty nice multi-frag to get into that bomb site, and now OG, they're on the back foot. And once again, OG, they've given up a lot of space towards Catwalk, no real contest there. And it doesn't really seem like Vitality are interested in long, but that was where OG did focus their defense this round.
Yeah, so they pull a goalie here over to, wow, what a great shot. On the walk back in through long, Alexi's going to spot him coming out mid, and the CTs are looking to get back map control. Late smoke coming out from the mid to B, and it is the Deagle. 4 shots, I think, coming through the smoke with Nico supporting from the window. And these AKs, they haven't been able to shoot back at all. They all go down. OG win 5 players alive, Maui.
That's a huge upgrade. The smokes towards CT were a little bit discombobulated. Just no coordination there. It looked like the first player out thought that smoke was going to be landing to block off the main CT angle, but it was actually the boost angle that came out there. So he got caught pulling out a smoke, and Alexi B just was able to hit every body shot.
Yeah, Apex walked out, and then, you never want to have your first guy out smoking, but it was open, and Alexi was peeking him, so he had no choice. Okay, a little flash tactic here to get an opening kill. That's always nice. I mean, first of all, Flames has been a top performer for OG. He's out of the round early. This threat ends long control, which is something they've postured up for before. And now, immediately, Vitality swing around the pendulum over towards upper B tunnels, and Montu's going to have some info here. And he's going to see, defaults, cat grenades being thrown. Nade misses on him. But the plan is not exactly clear. OG might get caught off guard. However, they start to walk a player into the site. It'll be Valda and Nico, the dynamic duo inside the site to defend against what's going to be a full exec. But man, one way to soften up your opponents. Just a well-placed HE grenade. And just like that, the pendulum swings back around to the A site. Still a minute up, though. They've been making good pace.
It's a curious mid-round, actually, by Vitality. They just move all the way over both times, and it looks like OG are actually considering pushing. No, actually, they're going to just stay in closet there. And Montu's taken up the long angle, and with how low so many of these players are, there's 3 players that if he just finds a single shot with his scout, they will perish. So we'll see if he's able to do that. First player up to bat is Kyojin, but oh no, it's a tag through the wall, actually, so can't get the kill. Good flash to cover his retreat, and I think the jig is up at this point. But Kyojin, nice headshot onto Montu there.
Oh my gosh.
Just Alexi B.
Yeah, very compromised location. He's phasing the smoke right now, but he's got to kill Zaiwu, and he can't do that. And that is Cat broken wide open. Kyojin's kill might be worth its weight in gold. The 2 CTs left are going to save once again. It looks like, I think, from this position. Just like that, it falls apart. I mean, this is so close to the point that if Kyojin doesn't kill Montu, they might run out of time trying to get up long, passing the 30-second mark, and then Alexi could win his duel versus Zaiwu, and they could totally still be in the round. But both of those kills come, and it's like there was no chance for OG all along.
Yeah, sometimes the Deagle headshot from Kyojin is just going to completely open things up. And this is the second time that OG has been split towards that A site, and the Cat guy is really just left without a paddle. He's just kind of stuck there. I mean, it was Montu a handful of rounds ago towards Goose, and Alexi B at least took the initiative in terms of taking that Cat fight, but when you're against Zaiwu, that's probably the last fight you want to take.
You will win 40% of the time, but yeah, usually not when it matters. That's just how it goes with Zywoo, unfortunately. But that was, yeah, like you mentioned, a very interesting mid round where they just ran back and forth. Do you think they were just paranoid that they had some info on where they were?
I think they probably knew that they were playing a 2-2 setup at that point. I think there was a nade thrown and the player was playing close, made an audible cue. So at that point, you don't think he's just solo closet usually. There's probably a B rotator at the very least. And yeah, so good mid round actually from Vitality there. And they are looking pretty strong in this round here. Quick down mid, as a matter of fact. And Alexi B is going to be challenging the cat angle. This is a nice change of pace.
Oh,
I thought Apex was going through that.
Looked like it was coming fast, that's for sure. Yeah, about to get M-tracked. Okay, same two players in the site, one in the door, back turned. As they start to come out, Masuda had an opportunity to get a kill, but doesn't find that opportunity and realize it. Nico instead, over his shoulder, kills him and his teammate in the back. Valda on top of the smoke, tries to find a duel, but again, like a jackknife, Zywoo comes through quick. Molly into the window, and it's a 3-on-3, but you know, you're certainly not giving odds to the team retaking, even though they flip these doors. It might still be doable, but it's going to be difficult.
They've got to find some way to pry this open with their nades at this point. A nice boost, though, but it won't actually catch anybody out.
Ooh.
Oh, Zywoo and Apex, they're getting risky towards window. Zywoo takes down Montu, looking for more. Another kill, leaving just Flames now. He's spinning around, takes down Apex, shocks in the 1v1, and he doesn't lose those. Vitality with their third round.
That is such a Shox call to go push the window or the door in the retake. That's the French post plant, to play it like you're retaking outside. And it worked out well, of course, weaponizing Zywoo, who looks crispy clean. I mean, super calm, too, with the way he took those duels. And he always makes it look easy. That's really the annoying part about him.
Yeah, Zywoo is always going to be there, that when Vitality just needs some kind of opening, some way to keep their spirits up. I mean, he's the man to do it, to deliver it. I mean, he's not necessarily the emotional support for the team, but he'll just do it. Everything in the server.
Yeah, I don't think he can be the emotional support. He probably doesn't understand what these humanoids are feeling.
Quite robotic.
What do you mean you missed?
Yeah, when Kyojin was feeling a little nervous, he just couldn't understand.
Yeah. Oh god, just made it worse. The only man that can make Kyojin feel insecure, who's an absolute robot on the mechanics as well. Pistols up here for OG, and they'll come through with an upper push, and it'll be Masuda and potentially ADR farm for him.
Just the one.
1.5 players.
Shox is he might get caught out.
Yeah.
Actually, Flames. Oh, he doesn't spot him.
There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, for OG now, 2 AK saves in a round such as this is it's a pretty nice consolation prize.
Yeah, never a good idea to hunt down USPs. You really don't get, you're not winning. You don't win a lot for trying to get these kills, but a few $100 at the risk of 4 to 5K. Yeah, 4 to 5K equipment value. I think that's something that I talked about this on your podcast. You asked us to bring in the most under talked about stat, I guess. And as much as we do talk about deaths, I think there's no overemphasizing how much money you lose when you die and how much impact that can have on the half.
Yeah, economy damage is the way that a lot of IGLs nowadays and even coaches are seeing the game, that if you can counter map control with less utility, then you're winning in that engagement. So the war of attrition is down now to the money, and it's a great way to just essentialize those kinds of back and forths.
So this is already, it feels like a brand new Vitality compared to some of the games we've seen recently. It might be a bit early to call. Of course, OG are going to be quite comfortable in Dust 2, but at least for Vitality's sake, they look good aim-wise. And I think that was something that you couldn't say for them versus Big Clan or whatever team they played last time. I can't even remember. Masuda, another opening kill on long. This time it's not Flames as the anchor, but they also use this to squeeze out of mid. This is kind of the G2 kind of mid-explode, and there's so much pressure right now on Valda.
Oh, that's such a fat read by Vitality there. And that might just be the round right there. Apex getting the kill onto Valde. The B bomb site is free for the taking, and he goes for more, taking down Flames, pushing out top mid. And as soon as they knew that Nico was towards long A at that point, Nico generally the B rotator or B anchor for OG, that just makes the mid-rounding so easy for Apex right there. He knows that it's probably one player at most on that B bomb site.
They've been so consistent about getting that kill, like when they're taking a peek out long with the flash. And, And you can't really, you almost can't lose at that point. That's such an early 5v4, and you can either take that control or go back or whatever. But it's just you know, either you get flames or in this situation you get Nico and like all the info. So okay, you know that's tough. Oh my God, the double mollies.
Oh, they're still going.
Yeah, and there's actually no space to play. Alexi sits in the smoke,
Wow.
looking down just to survive. That's what he needed to do. He actually, you know, he keeps his AK, and that's maybe going to be the only rifle they have this round.
That was a great hunt by Vitality. Excellent call.
Yeah.
All right, first time out is there for OG. They need to rethink some things. They need to wonder, how do we secure long control? Should we even fight for long control?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the call is?
Yeah, that's a thing. Like, if you have the long spawns, I mean, there's nothing bad about. I don't know if there's anything bad about the way they fought it. I don't know what they would say if they missed a flash that they were supposed to throw, but I think that's the nature of Dust 2. You can go 3 long and fight for it. I don't think it's meta to give it up as much as people used to, so I'm not going to be surprised if they go for it again. I'm going to assume they're going to try a different variation of nades or something to take it if they want to go for it again.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they didn't try to bust out an op as soon as possible to try to contest the angle next. But this time around,
oh my goodness!
Right through the smoke.
You gotta be less obvious, Zywoo. My God, unreal.
Oh, and a dink on Alexi B. This
It's just
early?
not fair. Yeah.
Oh man, this is so tough for OG already. And Vitality looks like they were gonna.
Oh damn it, Apex! You said you weren't winning all of your scrims.
Yeah, I know. As soon as a player mentions that, I'm just like, all right, so you guys are gonna win the whole tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going on, right?
Because everyone lies and says they're winning all their scrims.
Yeah.
It's like, who the hell is losing scrims these days? Okay. B attack coming fast. Nico has no idea. You know, nice trade here from Kyojin, but that's a thin silver lining on a very dark cloud at the moment. They get smoked out of B, one of the worst feelings. And some damage gets put down through the smoke. And it looks like Shox, there's potential that he gets caught off guard once again, actually. I mean, I'm sure. Oh, I was actually so sure that he was just going to jump up and clear this. Instead, Flames, Flames is a Mr. Awareness. He'll grab it. But another situation where it's like, okay, it's not such a winnable retake, no nades, they had a kit, but just on kills alone, some of these rounds were very close, especially early on.
Yeah, there's an argument for maybe some of the A retakes, I would say, but this one with nothing really going for you in this round, and the fact that a couple of your players are at half HP, it's tough to call to go for this retake.
So the really brutal part about the economy now, from what's changed, is that if you're the winning team, the comebacks happen when you don't also build up a bank. So now, blowing out a game is contingent on not only winning rounds in a row, like 5 rounds in a row, but also, keeping 3 players alive on all of those rounds so that you have like 10K each player. Then you can survive when, you lose 1 round and then the other team has like full loss bonus and then they come back. And the economic damage actually, isn't there overall right now for OG. Vitality have done a really good job of keeping most of their players alive. They've taken a lot of damage, but they haven't lost a lot of players.
Yeah. If you look at the ADR at the end of this game, it's going to be more even than you'd probably guess. But
yeah.
Another long take on a gun round from Vitality, and it's going to be Apex to look for something. Gets all the way into pit, actually. Uncontested, doesn't take a single point of damage there. And Alexi B is focusing towards Catwalk. This is a really spread out default from Vitality at this point, but Montu finds the opener. It's on Apex, and there we go. Nico finds Shox. This is exactly what OG needed, and great double nade to do so much. Now Masuda will try to get back in the round at Xbox, but OG are looking in prime position to maybe build upon this.
Production, if we could please have that Montu shot, that looks like pretty deep into the pit. I mean, I imagine it was a nice one. And, this round looks like it's about to end soon. Masuda, they're not even waiting for a flash here, so I don't know if they're just going to phase the smoke or not. The 2 men set up on Cat. I'm sure they'll be quite comfortable to fight this, but, crazier things have happened in this game. Masuda comes out for the peek. They both go down together, brothers in arms. Zywoo with the AWP. No one wants to give him the challenge at the moment. Montu there holding the angle. And yes, five alive here for OG. They survive that opening, duel on pit, and then they actually get the kill. Apex could have been a huge thorn on their side if he had, stayed alive longer. but it looked like it must have been a nice shot.
Yeah, I'm glad that OG made the necessary adjustment to put the AWP towards long because they were losing the rifle v rifle fights consistently. So that is one way to change it up, increase the firepower a bit.
Would have loved to pick your brain about that position a little bit more, just to go over the importance of long control on T side, how valuable it is, even when you don't get a kill. But we don't live in that reality anymore. And oh, ZywOo, wow, very aggressive opening. I mean, this is like, you know, a simple-esque play. And the trades come back and forth, favoring OG ultimately. Tactic goes down. Masuda committing LB, it looks like. Yeah, he's coming through fast. He also wins his trade, and B-side is compromised for the meantime, but there's more than enough space here for the CTs to fight back into it. However, all the while, Shox on the other side of the map has just meandered his way out long.
There's no smokes, though, for Vitality. So even if they take this long space, the last two players that are going to have to cross will have to do so with maybe a single flashbang. And Shox, it's almost essential that he wins this duel. He does, of course. Shox just so clutch in these kinds of moments. But still, this is not easy to cross for these players as Montu can hold the line with the op.
And it looks like Montu's just going to post. I would assume if there's even a gap here, where that was the chance. They somehow pulled it off. An ambitious call to try to cross long with that many players, but Shock saw his opening. He said, "Trust me, guys. You want to be here," and it works. Does it work? Are they even going to attempt the retake with the op in hand?
Oh, once again.
Is it all over? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they just don't go for these retakes, it seems like. And I understand it. In the present day economy, really feels like it's valuable to keep these guns. You're going to be buying in the next round anyways with a good loss bonus, but it looks like OG want to just live to fight another day.
Yeah, kind of surprised they actually, you know, like I feel like if you're Shox, you call that, and then, you know, your teammate goes, "Oh, we don't have any utility," and then they go, "Oh, okay." And then he'll go, "Okay, let me do a lurk," or something like that. But
yeah, just see what he gets.
They just trusted him.
Yeah.
They trusted him. He didn't actually help them cross, but they trusted him.
I think getting the kill onto Flames did open it up.
Oh, right, he did. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he won that duel.
All right, OG, they save their weapons, but it really feels like OG right now need 2 opening picks to handle Vitality. Somehow Vitality just have complete control of this map, and that's due to Shox actually, and the rerouting that Apex is likely calling on the French side.
Yeah. Oof. I feel like this is a game that's already gotten somewhat away from OG, but I'm not sure. Obviously the full story cannot be told in the scoreline at the moment. Something's in the water, and it feels like the game could flip on its head at any given turn, but it's up to OG to, you know, prove that point or tell their story here as they push upper tunnels in a very good move, a very open tunnels area. They'll have full control here. The only thing they have to worry about right now is mid B, and they might be a bit paranoid about that, but I think overall we haven't seen Vitality test that, you know, in the mid round too often. So we'll see where OG's brains are at. They fall out of the upper push. Looks like the CAD long split is coming. And the CTs are back in these default positions.
Yeah, Alexi B, nice shot on the Shox. Flames only able to get the one. So there's 2 players coming from long at this point. Kyojin might just want to stay alive here to continue this pinch, but no, he goes for the swing, the challenge, and he takes down Alexi. Nico falls on top of that, and it's 2 players again in an OG retake. It looks like this time they know they need to go for it. The nade will land on the site. No, Kyojin actually tucked into Goose, and the plant is going to be secured. ZywOo gets it down, and every moment that passes here, OG are probably thinking more and more so to save, but they will actually flash forward. ZywOo on the site. Valde looking for a boost. This might actually catch ZywOo, but nothing catches ZywOo off. What was I even thinking?
How dare you? How dare you say might catch ZywOo? Oh my gosh. Wow. He said, "Oh, you're boosting? Okay, I'll meet you up there."
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, Kyojin's kill was so key. I mean, even though he's sometimes only getting one of these entries, is always like the most important entry. The whole thing falls. It's another round I almost don't believe in. You know, it's another. I swear to God, that nade that nade was going towards the side. That wasn't a pizza grenade. I think that was a goose grenade that missed. It looked like it hit the very edge of the wall
to the corner.
And Kyojin was sitting there with such low HP. Now, of course, there were still odds for Vitality with the op on site and everything, but you know, I feel like the number of things that have, you know, been slight misses or just close trades that have gone the way of Vitality is just innumerable at this point. They are everything is lining up for them, and I mean it is National Astrology Day.
Yeah.
Is Mercury in retrograde or whatever they say?
For OG, it might be.
For OG, yeah. Oh, is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shouldn't start any new projects.
I gotcha.
Mercury in retrograde. Shocks, though, not worrying about the stars. He just gets right out of there. And Montu, he's at least taking some position towards Cat. Really feels like OG are trying to move their op around, but he's just being avoided really well. Vitality are either getting lucky with their calls or just in the minds of Alexi B in some way or another. And Flames is... he seems nervous about this, honestly. He's not having the best time at long.
You can't get... you can't actually get into the... I just want to stop you right there. You can't actually get into the mind of Alexi B. You always get lost in the hair, you know what I mean? When you try to get into the mind of Alexi B.
Yeah. It's really easy to just lose yourself in it.
That Pantene Pro V do.
Yeah, he should be on a L'Oreal commercial.
Yeah. He's just head and shoulders above the rest.
I wonder if he uses sulfate free. All right, Montu. This might be some good timing. A little bit of chip damage there. Nice nade onto Kyojin. That's going to be the entry fragger, actually low for Vitality. Yeah. Really increases the multi-frag potential if there were a rifler on site.
I feel like Kyojin's kind of like Vegeta, though. Like, you just get slightly stronger the more, you know, tattered the armor is. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Alexi's pushing up. He tried to find a timing, doesn't find it, but Steel adjusts his crosshair in time. However, now Montu gets out-dueled over top of the fire, and ZywOo takes just poise on top of the site. Bomb goes down once again. Numbers advantage for Vitality, even though the health is kind of low. And Vitality, with ZywOo at the helm, just taking control of the A site.
Oh, I think that OG were looking to peel away from that, but Nico decided to run in front of the Molotov there, and he gave up his life. And OG now down in the hole, 9-3. These A hits from Vitality have just been so brutal, and they're not even always just the best pinches. It's just straight up nice execution and all around good fragging from them.
Yeah, I think so much emphasis here on just the cleanest entries. It feels like there's a handshake agreement. The duel's coming right now, but Vitality seemed to just be a touch crispier in, like, in more important spots. Yeah, and it's a story of ZywOo, you know, finally has some help here. He's been doing a fantastic job as he's expected to, but now, like, the entries are coming in around him. And I mean, you know, even if they split some of these entries, I feel like Vitality might be still winning some of these rounds, which is a good sign for them. But right now, it's just, it couldn't be better. They've got to be, you know, completely convivial right here in the middle of this match, thinking, wow, we're actually doing it.
Another timeout for OG. Really wondering how to stop the bleeding in this one. So many bomb plants for Vitality. I mean, they're really just breaking everything open, and this is...
Did we see Alexi B, you know, trying to get in front of the smoke, like in front of the cat smoke to phase it, and then was just a little bit late?
Yeah, that's an issue that plagued them, I think, in their Astralis matchup. The reason they're in the losers bracket is that they had really good ideas, but just a second too late in most of them. It feels like for some reason they're just a touch too slow, or maybe the other teams are playing a little bit higher tempo than Alexi B realizes.
Oh boy! I mean, at a certain point, you're going to be sapped of confidence. You know, everything is going to be hard to the farther away you get from the half, the harder it's going to be to contextualize the losses. You're going to be like, you know, no matter what happened, it's still 9-3. It sucks to think that you have to climb back from it. No, on the other side, I mean, Vitality are going to be very optimistic.
I like this round a lot from OG. This is the right kind of reaction that they should have. They're gearing up for some kind of mid play in the mid round, and hopefully that'll at least net them a couple frags. Even a trade overall would be good for them. And surprised we don't see the cat fight is there, but it's late. But Alexi continues. And he finds Apex. They should know that Masuda is the player in lower. They won't continue to challenge in the case that there's anybody else mid, but Masuda gives the fight right to Nico. And now, at least it's a one-dimensional hit, and OG can manage this. It's 3 players left on the bomb site, and Montu still has space towards elbow.
Good adjustments being made, and Nico is just going to go for the tactic right through the smoke. My God, with the French gun against the French. Beautiful 3K with the FAMAS. Laser sharp precision.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
Start to finish for OG. That's the exact kind of round they needed. Whatever they said in that timeout was just the perfect read. I love how they broke open mid. They're taking the fight on their terms, which is so hard to do on Dust 2. Usually you're having to play this passive game. You wait in B site, you wait at Catwalk, maybe you get split onto the A site, maybe you take a long fight, but finally they do it on their own terms, and that is everything for them in that they're able to just make it a one-pronged attack. They took out the left pincer of the attack from Vitality.
Round 14, and the tempo is still high here for Vitality. So they're trying it again this time. A lot more pressure towards Cat. Kyojin gets nipped in the head for damn near 90 damage. Been a common storyline for him. Doesn't seem to phase him whatsoever. So we'll see if that has a knock-on effect on the rounds. For the meantime, this smoke lands on Cat. I'm not sure if it's perfect, but it does its job, yeah.
The back and forth is beginning in this game finally. It feels like both these IGLs are testing each other now with their conditioning. The fact that it was a mid play in the previous round for OG, the fact that Vitality is now sending more players towards middle, and they're trying to stop any kind of proactive play such as that. And it's got OG on the back foot once again, so Apex seems to be outplaying Alexi in this one,
God.
but Alexi, he might find an angle for himself. He might do it all on his lonesome, but Valde from the window, excellent positioning, takes down Kyojin as well, looking for more. Valde finally is coming alive in the server. Him and Nico defending this bomb site all by themselves, leaving simply Apex and nothing more.
Oh, he chews him up. That was just beautiful. That push out of the window. It's well timed. It's paired with a late flash for the third kill. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. That was just, yeah, that was a handsome 3K here from Valde. And I love how like Alexi B is jump spotting over the smoke. I have expected him to get spotted and get killed, but you know, he was doing it like he's done it a million times.
Yeah.
But it's just like the way that Azaiwu has been able to, you know, through any of the interference, be able to see everybody so clearly, whether it's over Molotov in a smoke. I'm just like, you know, scared for anybody who comes into his vision.
Looks like Vitality are going back to the tried and tested long take.
Yes.
Corner smoke, flashes come out.
So talk us through this position really quick, so we get long control early.
Yeah, so at this point, this just unlocks a lot of the A bomb site and just puts OG in a position where they probably should take a cat fight. Last time around, Montu was able to get that pick towards Pit, and he's going to find it again. What a shot from Montu. Quick trade, but Vitality are already down to 2 players, and they know where they are.
I think we got some context on how he got that kill last time versus Apex. Kyojin stopped behind the fire. Masuda, his best friend, dies, and Kyojin in the 1v4. It's just too much. 9-6 half here for Vitality, and a very strong start. But OG still in this game. Catch us right after the break for the second half. You know what, Maui? Happiness is like peeing your pants. Everybody can see it, but only you can feel the warmth. And right now, I feel like OG, it's clear they had a strugglesome half, but in those last few rounds, I think the optimism came back a little bit, whether we could see it or not.
Yeah. Zywu's going to need to put on a diaper because he is shitting on these kids, though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully, Vitality can pamper him enough. Pamper him up. He deserves it.
All right, we'll leave it at
Get
that.
some talcum powder on that buttocks.
Okay. It keeps coming. It keeps coming.
All right.
All right. Early play towards Catwalk, and Zywoo in the perfect position, of course, to take down Flames. Nice goosh from Nico, though, to push Shocks back off the angle, but Vitality's already rotated into this. However, OG have a two-pronged attack coming out from long on top of that, and they are finding the kills that they need. It's just Masuda. He's already been gushed. Again, a goosh through the box. 13 health, and OG, they're just going to play the waiting game. Make him make the mistake.
I'd like to go through something important really quick before this next round begins, because Goosh is the most NA call ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Gooshes, there's Dinks.
Yes. Goosh is different than a Dink, though.
Goosh is different from the Dink.
Goosh is when
what we're explaining.
Yeah, a goosh is when you don't have a helmet, because the sound is more of a gush.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the blood flowing through your face.
There's Gooshes, there's Dinks. Is there anything else?